Now, so what do most TV preachers preach on, right? Well, basically, the main things we think matter to God, right? Now, like today on the Catholic Mass, they were dealing with the birth of Jesus from Matthew 2 and the wise men, right? They quoted Romans a little bit about us being all part of the body of Christ, right? And mainly they dealt with the Last Supper, Calvary a lot, and the basic genesis is what they talked about for the show today, right? Now, Manifest with Perry Stone, he focuses a lot on the law of the nature of divine order, right? So he talks about today the seven feasts of Israel. Passover, unleavened bread, first fruits, Pentecost, trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles, right? And it's covered in Leviticus 25, but then he kind of focuses on trumpets, because this only dealt with in 2 verses. Leviticus 23, 2 through 25, right? Or 23 through 25, right? So, in Exodus 19, 11 through 26 is Moses going up into the mountain and all that to receive the law. He quoted Revelations several times. 2 and 3, 3:24. Dealt with Revelations 1, Revelations 4:1, where John was told to come up here, right? First, Isaiah 12, 9 through 11, Revelations 22, Revelations 15, 1 through 16, Revelations 6, 15 through 16, Revelations 19, 15, Nahum 1, 2, Romans 1, 18, 1 Thessalonians 5, 9, Luke 21, 36, Revelation 3:10, Romans 3, 8 through 9, or 2, 8 through 9, sorry. Revelation 7, 1 through 4, that talks about the 12 tribes and the 12,000, right? Then Daniel 11:41, Ephesians 1:7, revealing Matthew 16:18, Revelations 1:16 and 18, right? Daniel chapter 7, law of escape, Galatians, or Genesis 6:8-9, right? 19:22, where Lot is escaping from Sodom, right? Jeremiah 25 and 29 talk about a land deal, and 32 6 through 15 deal with the land deal. Now that's where Matthew was quoting from, right? Instead of going to Zechariah, for some reason he's talking about the land deal, right? Which is different than the price Christ was betrayed for, right? But I think that talks also of 15 shekels of silver or something like that. Or so much, right? Then he goes to Ezekiel 14:14, right? And 20 and 27 verses in that chapter, right? But see what I mean about reading parts of the Bible, right? And not the whole, right? And kind of putting it together in what you want it to say, Curie, that's a problem too, right? Chapter 9, Job 1:1, Genesis 6, and I think Daniel again, right? 1:4. And this is because Ezekiel talks about certain people, Noah, Daniel, and someone else, Job, yeah, right, okay, and these are just my notes here. Ephesians 2 or 1:15, I'm not sure, right? Could be off. Thessalonians 5:9, Psalms 102:16, First Baptist Church of Columbia, South Carolina, right? Was the next show. Yeah. Well, one of the last quotes was Psalms 102, verse 16, right, for Perry's show. And part of it, like I said, is we're waiting anyway. Now, the thing is, every Sunday with Christian Fellowship Church, they go over the same Bible studies about what's called the basics of the doctrine of Christ. They keep going over baptism, they keep going over repentance of dead works. But according to Hebrews chapter 6, they're not going on to perfection, which means what, right? If you're just showing me the base doctrine, right, what am I supposed to do with that if that's all you show me every time I come out to church? That's called brainwashing someone, actually, right? Those are the basics, yeah, but what more is in there, right? What is the deeper truth, right? What is the milk versus the meat, for example, of the Word of God, right? Now, if you're just showing people the milk, well, that's fine, but, right? The milk is for babes, like Paul said. Meat is for adults when you grow up, right? Now, even a child is nursed for up to 2 years, most of them, right? From his mother, or today we use formula, for example, instead of, right, milk, but, right, that's the point too, right? And whatever you're doing there, though, the problem ain't the milk, right? The problem is you're not teaching the meat, right, of the word, right? Now, if you read it in general, right, you can say Jesus was the Son of God, like the Catholics do, and there would be no real problem with that unless there's something different about Jesus too, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Paul is saying there's a mystery here involving the Gentiles being fellow heirs of the same body, right, as with the circumcised, right? Well, one, circumcision is a simple snipping of the foreskin. In Hebrew theology, you do it a certain day. Mm-hmm. And then after that, right, you're good to go, right? Basically, right? You're a Jew, you're a Hebrew, right? Mm-hmm. But if you don't do it, right, you're not part of the Hebrew family, right? Now, there are also other nations, some do circumcise, right? So the Bible talks about that too, right? And there are different things different people do, right? But they're not part of the Commonwealth of Israel sometimes either, right? So that kind of presents, a problem, right? And a limited number of people who can really understand the Bible in the first place, right? Even of its own people that warns that, right? So if you're really reading it, it's not telling you something you're going to get just following certain people, right? It's telling you got to read it on your own, right? Because all they're teaching you is what's called a base doctrine, a basic understanding of it, without any real works, right? Or really real perfection in it, right? Just basically try to do the best you can in life, play by the rules, do this, do that. Don't commit adultery or fornication, right? But they also don't teach how to forgive yourself, right? When you make a minor or major mistake either, right? Now, you might say, well, how simple or hard is it? Well, like I said, when you have sex with someone, all right, and you go to their home and then you leave them, right, who's the guilty party there, right? Mm-hmm. The person who came and left, not the person who's home alone and tried to find a girlfriend, right? Now, if you're doing that with someone, right, and you're acting like you didn't do it the next day, well, that's the point. I don't know what's going on then, right? Now, if I go out to a different store and I'm having different issues at that store, right, say it's a restaurant and I'm losing time, right, it's taking longer for me to eat for some reason, right, and I'm trying to figure out why, because I'm also looking for a girlfriend, right, and I'm losing enough time where I know something more than eating the food is happening, right? But I'm then having a problem because, okay, if I eat different times, like 45 minutes one time and then an hour or over an hour the next time, right? And I'm in one store, I'm wondering, well, what's going on? Why am I losing time again, right? And part of my mental illness means I gotta make sure I'm current with what I'm doing. I know, because I can lose track of time. I can lose thought and even black out, or even do things I wouldn't normally do. Right? Perhaps. Right. That's the problem too with it. Right. Now, if I'm single, you can tell me all you want. You can't have sex with someone in the bathroom, in public or private, or whatever you mean, right? But if I've done it in the bathroom with someone else, I'm not going to understand that, right? The rule you're trying to spring on me at the last second that I never heard of growing up, right? I'm not going to believe you, right? basically. Now, the thing is, though, if you're trying to get me into trouble, you're also getting her into trouble if she did something or not, right? Though, what are you trying to do about it that I don't remember what happened as well? That's the problem, right? I went in there basically to eat the buffet again, right? But when I left, I'm losing time, and I'm only eating the same 3 plates I've always ate, right? And yet, what I'm trying to do is finish the meals, right? And eat what I normally eat within a certain amount of time, right? Which is normal. until, all right, it goes longer than it would take me normally to eat 3 plates at another restaurant, right? If the times are differing, right? And I don't mean minorly, I mean majorly, right? No. Like, I went again to, like I said, a different buffet to see if it would be a little different. But again, I'm losing weight. I'm not gaining, right? I'm toggling, right? I'm now, today I was 241, so that means I've lost 4 pounds already, right? Like I told you right now. I know my body. I know what I can eat and not eat. I'm in charge of myself. I don't need you to tell me what to do or not to do. I've been doing it for 53 years. I'm fine, right? What I do need you to do is stop trying to command me when everyone else is dying and you from the same problem. See, the real problem is you're judging every little thing you do and considering food good or bad for you, which condemns it, right? I get what Jesus is trying to teach us, not to condemn what we do, but to forgive it, right? Oh. That's what the knowledge of good and evil does. It puts things in either I should eat this because it's good for me, or I shouldn't because it's bad, right? But you want to eat the bad stuff because it tastes better. That's hypocrisy too. I know that's don't eat this, don't taste that, don't touch this, don't touch that, right? And again, right, that traces all the way back to something happening in Eden where a snake is talking to the woman, right? And the woman brings the fruit to the man and he eats of it too. And after he eats, they both see their naked. Kind of weird how that worked out, though, if you read the story. It didn't seem to bother her until he ate. You get the point. Then both of their eyes were open and they knew they were naked and they knew they were naked, right? Not that they, again, weren't naked to day 6 or anything. And see, this is happening in day 7, which is an overlay, right? When I'm retelling the story from day 2, from chapter 1 to chapter 2, right? And I'm starting with day 7, I'm giving you what's called an overview of what I've already went over, right? I'm telling you more about it, but in a slightly different order, right? If it's a historical document as well, right? Versus mythology, right? As well. Mm-hmm. It's called an overview of what I've done whenever, right? I've done told you how God made the heavens and the earth and Adam and Eve, right? Now I'm trying to build you up to the 3rd chapter, right? And tell you what happened on day 7, right? The Lord rested from all his works, right? That he had done, right? Mm-hmm. To make everything on this planet almost picture perfect for us, right? And how can we know? It's still the knowledge of good and evil in the garden of good and evil, right? And the earth is now the garden of good and evil, right? Mm-hmm. Itself, not just Savannah. You got that part right, I'm sure. Savannah is the garden of good and evil itself, but sometimes the whole planet is too, right? So we're now in the garden of good and evil, no longer the garden of Eden, where everything was good and perfect and happened in its right time. Even sex probably was more every 25 years for a reason, right? Now, if you have children every 25 years, both a boy and a girl, why do you think we have twins in the first place? Though they're twin boys or twin girls, or right? Sometimes a boy and a girl can be born. But why do you think that would be, right? Eden. If you're giving birth in perfection and you have a boy and a girl first at the same time, one sperm gets to the egg for the male and one sperm gets to the egg for the female, right? And you have both children together in no pain, by the way, ladies, right? And then when you have them, you nurse them the normal amount of time, I guess, within 1 to 2 years, right? And then they grow up, right? So they're 25, and then you do it all over again, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't really stop growing until you're between 25 to 30 anyway, right? And that's why I guess that's about how long they probably reproduced in Eden, right? Now, that's called an educated guess, right? Based on factual things we still go through today, but the perfection of Eden, right? Which we no longer experience anymore, right? Now, he didn't tell them to become one flesh and bone again either. He said become one flesh, right? Well, the penis is the only mammal penis without a bone in it. Ain't that crazy, right? If something made you, right, and you're a mammal, right, why did it leave out our penis bone and you can't say, no, that's just choice, right? Something intentionally left out your penis bone, man. Get used to it. You're a creature. Something made you, right? It left out your penis bone, but the gorilla has one. The chimpanzee has one. The monkey has one. Even the rhesus monkey has a penis bone, right? You don't have a bone, though metaphorically it's called a boner, ain't it? Jokingly speaking, to add a little humor to my sexual conversation with you. Now, Paul mentioned the uncomely parts becoming more comely, right? This is talking about your reproductive organs too, right? No, it is. Now, in his day, though, there was maybe in the Greek a separate word for it, but not the Hebrew. Unless you call it the fruit of the male's body, right? And that's found in what chapter, though? Song of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 3. The female is having his fruit sweet to her mouth, right? That's talking about something you would see in the porn, by the way, right, today, right? It's a picture of his fruit in her mouth, right? She's sitting in his shadow. He's naked in front of her. Come on, right? See what the prophet is saying there, right? Or the prophetess. It's probably been written by a woman pining for Solomon because she's part of the harem now, right? She's one of his 1,000 wives, you understand? And she ain't getting any since he first got her, right? You know? And she wasn't yet pregnant, so she's still not a door through which a baby came yet, right? She feels like an 8-year-old girl, you know what I mean, right? In chapter 8 itself, right? But I'm a tower too, she says, right? I'm waiting for you, honey. Come back to me. And this time, do your job right and get me pregnant, right? Could also be a little bit of reproach with her, right? And that when the other women got pregnant, she's the only one who didn't. And then she's saying, I am black. I am a Shulamite woman, whatever that means, right? And then she's talking about Solomon being ivory. That's not ivory. That's tan, but ivory's a mix of white and tan, ain't it? But it's still whitish. Is that ivory? Ebony, ivory. Is that ebony and ivory? A little bit. Living in perfect harmony. Ebony, ivory. The quotes are Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder, right? You know the little song. You know the little song that he's on the radio. That's all. But we do have white and black. The extremes are white and black, right? The in the middle colors are white or darker shades of it, right? All the way, I know, right? You can't understand how white and red could be black and meet red, huh? Right. Well, it's other pigments, right? Added into it, right? And we see in color, in living color. Did I quote that? I quoted that. Okay. We're all in living color. It used to be black and white, though. But that's the extremes, right? See, black is black, I want my baby back. It's gray, cause she went away. What can I do? But like I said, there's reasons when I go into your store, you're acting weird too to me. Right, right. See, perception is both ways, right? I'm looking for a girlfriend, right? And I'm open to any woman, but I'm also there for a reason, right? I'm also waiting. I'm also living among you in the community, right? And I'm single still. And you know what they say comes out at night? The freak come out at night. The freak come out at night. Freak come out at night. Freak come out at night. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And I'm not remembering things. Someone's trying to watch me in their sleep. My sleep, they keep saying, right? And again, that means you're stalking me and you couldn't even live next door to me, right? Well, again, right? I'm not stalking you, right? You're stalking me. Difference is I'm willing to let you be alone, right? So I can be alone, right? That's doing to others too, right? Now I'm trying to be alone until I find me a beautiful woman, right? Or an attractive woman who's equally attractive to me. That's the goal in life, right? And we all have the same goal, right? Finding someone, like even Cher said, to take away your heartache, right? I'll just quote her for now, right? Since you been gone, since you been gone. Anyway. And that's the point about life, too. Some girls, you go after stronger. Some you go after weaker. Some you don't at all. But that don't mean you're just not going through life trying to find the one still, right? See, if I'm 30, let's say I'm from 30 to 53 looking for a girlfriend, right? Was married once, right? I don't determine what I like as women, right? You get that too, huh? Over 18 too, right? Now, the only situation you're trying to put me in was one I chose the mother with, but not judging the mother either. Right? It's because she had a child out of wedlock with another man, right? Right. But we had a boy child, right? Not that I think girls are any less important than boys, right? Some people do that, right? And see, the thing is, stepdaddy knows not to mess with stepdaughter, but the stepdaughter also becomes of age, right? And stepmommy did stepdaddy bad, right? I mean, biological mommy did stepdaddy bad, right? But all daddy did was move back to base, you understand, right? Daddy don't try to cause waves in the ocean, right? They're already there. He does that. He ain't got to do nothing to rock the boat. The boat's already rocking before he can even lock it, right? If you know what I mean, right? The boat's been rocking since I came in knocking, right? Before I came in knocking, right? But again, right? Exactly. The boat's been rocking and I keep on knocking, right? That too. Either way, it kind of works, right? If you know what I mean, right? And don't come and knocking if the boat's rocking either, right? All depends on what you're going for, right? But the boat's been rocking because there's waves in the ocean, right? Oh, going off script there, but right, we're not rhyming anymore. Right. But it's the whole point, right? But why would a 15-year-old lie that she's 37? Several reasons. She's confronted with the man she's worried's going to get her in trouble. One. She don't like me too much. Two. Right? She don't want me in her store, but can't just say nicely, don't come back to my store, right? 3. She has to get me to do something wrong with her, and she knows it. She knows it. And yet, she also knows I really came to, right? 3 times 2 or 2 times 2 or whatever it was, right? Just in general, And then she knows I'm not lying either, and then she's trapped in it. And I come out 3 months later, like I told her I would, right? Right? And then the third month, she bans me, right? Which is, again, weird in and of itself, right? She's banning me because of her hang-ups, not mine, right? And see, everybody wants her to be their baby, right? Like the song, she got to be somebody's baby. Right. No, I'm reading that up, right? Fast Times at Ridgemont High, right? She's a teenage girl living in a teenage world, and I'm a 53-year-old disabled veteran trying to find a girlfriend, but not listening to the veteran, right? But instead her friends, right, or her family, or her co-workers, right? Bad idea, bad idea. Ang ginagawa mo, pakinggan mo ko, applies to you too, that's what we know, right? Not them. Hindi siya, I think. I'm trying to say, right? Whatever it might be, and Hindi, him or whatever, or him, or right. I don't know, right? That's kind of what the book said, though, right? Got a little phrase book. After I spoke to her, and I was kind of trying to get her to tell me, and she taught me a few phrases like Mahal Kita, Miss Namis Kita, that's I love you, I miss you, right? Could be part of the song, right? Of course, right? And I don't know Mahal Kita from a phrase book. They don't always tell you that one, right? That's I love you. That's kind of serious, right? I know. And see, it's not a Filipino girl I want. It's not an Asian girl I want. It's someone who looks like that, right? Even my wife was mixed African and she looks like that, right? You know what I mean? You got a type, right? Even Megan Thee Stallion is the type. But I ain't seen her, right? If you know what I mean. I don't get to see Megan Thee Stallion or Riley Cyrus, even if they come to Georgia, right? Or not.